welcome back to Choice Bits of Bliss. My name is Cilla. In today's video, we are going to do layouts 2 and 3 for Collection Obsession. Mostly because I had already finished the majority of layout 2, as in pretty much finished. And there's not a lot to do with it. I can talk you through this base, but I'm going to put the photos down and pretty much call it a day. But I'm really excited about layout 3, and I definitely want to go through it, walk through the creating process with you for that one. So in layout 1, I had fussy cut these ornaments and had some leftovers. I decided to make my border from banners from this kit. I have 2 pieces of manufacturing strips that I also created into banners. I used some washi to just kind of ground this and give some interest. And of course, some floss. I just kind of wove through. I wanted it to meander and be a little, not straight. I just wanted it to kind of flow. Once I made my base, I felt like it needed this white space. And my original idea when I created it was I was going to create a grid over here. And then I started looking through my photos, because at the beginning of the month, I made notes of what photos I wanted to print out, what I wanted to scrapbook. I'm trying to be more organized. We'll see how long this sticks around. Fingers crossed. Anyway, so once I started printing out my photos, I thought, no, I need to show what happened that day. We tried to take pictures of our dogs in front of the Christmas tree. Well, one of our dogs, she's young. She's not even a year old when we put up the Christmas tree. She's never seen a Christmas tree before. So it was weird and new for her. Our older dog is skittish at best. Anything she has to get accustomed to it being in her space, and then she'll start moving around it more freely. So here we go. We start. So I wanted these to look like photo booth strips, going through the progression of trying to get photos. These were printed on a 4x6. I just cut them all apart, put them on some white cardstock to give that photo strip look. So in this photo here, I'm trying to get a little bit closer. They're not even looking in the same direction or standing near each other. They've already messed up the thing that goes under the tree, whatever that's called. You can see my husband bribing them with treats, and they're just looking for more treats. Oops, we dropped a treat. The big dog, Kayla, licking Charlie's ear. We finally get them sort of center, in the place, and it's awful, awful, awful. But I look at these photos and I think, everybody's trying to get that Instagram moment. And life is very seldom Instagram worthy. And you go through a lot of work trying to get this perfect moment, and it just doesn't work out. So this is the Christmas card that I sent to my friends and family. It's Peace, Love, and Pause. It's horrible. They wouldn't be still. So it's blurry. And I hand wrote on the back of every single one of them about trying to have a perfect moment, and it being anything but perfect. But we are still full of joy. We love our dogs. We're happy. And I just wanted to share a smile with my friends and family for Christmas. So I'm going to adhere these down. This layout is done. It didn't take but a second to do all of this anyway. So, there's nothing really grand here at all. Just my silly pups. And I just kind of want these wonky. I just want them to look like, you know, you had thrown down a couple of strips from the photo booth. And I had said, I think a couple of videos ago, that I was going to quit doing these four corners. And it's habit. I've been scrapbooking this way for a long time. And when I grab my thingy doer, my adhesive, sometimes I still do it. So there. This layout is pretty much done. There is so much going on over here that I don't feel like I need to do anything over here. That's my opinion, and that's my style. If you think there's too much white space here and you want to do more, you do. Yeah, you do you. This is my opinion. Okay, let's get past this one. For layout 3, I had originally made this kit. So this is A and B, A and B, A and B. So I had originally made this kit, and I had thought that I would be using it this way. I think I still am. However, when I pulled out my photos, I originally wanted to do these 2 photos of my dogs, again, in the snow. That's going to come later on. When I had them printed out, I thought, you know what? I really want to use a more wintry paper line with those photos. And then I started kind of flipping through, because I always have printed photos on my desk. I always have something that I can pull from if what's in my head isn't working. So I was kind of flipping through the photos I had on my desk, and I've had this photo on my desk for, let me see, it's over a year now, because we had gone to spend a weekend with friends in Woodstock. Then we got invited to go to one of their family members' birthday party thing while we were there that lived nearby. So, you know, sure, let's do it. We had a great time, and we took our dogs, and my friend and I, we needed to go walk the dogs and you know, help them get off some energy because they were just acting nuts. Her dog is much more well behaved than mine. So we were walking the dogs, and while we were on the property, we passed this gate. And it's one of those moments, I just stopped and I was like, it's just how the vignette looked. It was beautiful. And I thought, I have to capture this because it's just gorgeous and it needs to be a part of my life. So this is the photo. Now I've had this printed in 5x7 because I think it is gorgeous. There's this old rock fence here to the left, the wooden post, this old red beaten up fence. This is left over from her Christmas decorations from 2020. And then I just love it. It's just a beautiful vignette. So I snapped the photo. My friend snapped a photo. We kept walking the dogs. That's the end of that. But I've been auditioning this photo over and over and over for, I don't know, just over a year, because I want to use it. Well, when I started auditioning on here, let me back up, because I didn't decide on this photo just yet. I was looking for I had seen the photo. I knew I wanted to use it, so I went to Pinterest and I found it's not really a sketch. It's a scrap lift. I want to scrap lift this. Now, in the comments below, it says, Kathy Kramer, I love this layout. Now, I don't know if Kathy Kramer is the one who designed this. I don't know. But I would like to give credit where credit is due. I really like this layout. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, I need to cut down my base to be 11 by 11, and then I need to go to like 10 3/4 by 10 3/4. I'm already mentally cutting paper in my mind. And then the photo will also be mounted. I'm getting texts. The photo will also be mounted, matted on the paper I'm going to gut. Now, so I knew I wanted to do that sketch, and I needed a red that I could cut down. I can't cut down this one because the design goes almost to the edge. So if I was matting a 12 by 12 layout, if I were using this to mat, and this remained 12 by 12, it would work perfectly, because that's exactly what I did on this layout. This paper and this paper is the same pattern, and I used it to mat this layout. It works great for that. If I go smaller, it's not going to work. So I decided against this paper. And I decided to use this to mat my entire layout. So this pattern is going to be on the bottom. I'm going to bring in this basic gray from Fruitcake. And that is going to be my solid color. It's going to look something like that. And then I'm going to use the white on top of it. Now, I am not going to waste a basic gray. I'm not. So this is going to be gutted. And I'm going to mat my photo in part of what I gut. And then I'm going to dig into my scraps to do the strips. So that's how far we've gotten. Let me go gather my scraps. I'll be right back. I've pulled some scraps that were with another Christmas kit. This doesn't have to be necessarily Christmassy. I have these Felicity Jane that I could actually make this look a lot longer than it is. And let me consult. Only one extends to, so I'm looking here at the bottom. Only one piece extends beyond the photo. So I keep that in mind. I could use this cut in half and make it look like it's longer than it actually is. Possibly. Especially since I have two of them. I could do one at the top and one at the bottom. That's the plan. Okay. So I have all of these other pieces too from, this was a piece of Felicity Jane, this is Felicity Jane, and this is Felicity Jane. So I have all of these pieces I can play with, and I think I may use this or this to go off the edge. Okay, let me get my pieces down. I'll be right back. Currently, this looks like I have a frame because I have gutted my basic gray paper. But once I lay this down on top of it, that effect is covered. We're going to adhere our white piece of cardstock, and it is cut at 10 3/4 by 10 3/4. And I'm just tacking it. I'm not going to try to do a solid adhesion. And I'm eyeballing it because that's what I do. I eyeball. Okay. So we have the base created, and I have cut apart my strips because in referring to they're at different heights. So I don't want to use the houses. I know I don't want to use those, but I do want to bring in some different color. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to create let's see, I want to use this one this way because I want to cover up these little pieces that didn't get cut perfectly. Here is another color to add in. We want to give this some black and white. Let's do the stripe. Let's add the floral in because it just kind of ties everything together. Oh, here it is. I was going to say, I know I have another piece of floral. And let's do a trial run of the photo. I can actually bring everything in a little more. And then there's one piece over here on the end that is solid. You know, it's showing on the end. I'm going to go ahead and add this in here. So it's coming to the end. And then I need the one over here. So I have these 3 designs, or 4 designs, that I can cut a large piece and bring over here. That's the trees. This one's the houses. I don't want to use the houses. Then I have this. So let me think about this 1 second and then I'll be right back. Okay, I've clearly made some decisions and I'm needing to, everything is adhered. I'm needing to cover this seam here. For my taste, I need to cover that seam. So I decided to go to this scrap paper and fussy cut out one of these flower clusters. I didn't want a large one. This small one will do the job nicely. And I kind of want it down this way so that it's nestling that rock wall. I also pulled out these laser cut elements from 49 Market. This is from the Avesta collection. I do not have that collection, but I did buy the laser cut elements because I love the laser cut elements by 49 Market. I love them. I like this title from that collection, Beautiful Moments. That is going to be my title of the layout. And the downfall to laser cut elements is that some of these, especially foliage, is it's fragile and it fell apart. So I'm going to just tuck it here and here. It doesn't look like it did on the sheet, but that's okay. I can still use it. And the reason I went to the laser cut elements is because I was looking for butterflies. I wanted to place some butterflies. I wanted this is going to be my only cluster, and I kind of wanted it to come around this bottom left corner, similar to that. And I felt like I needed something to join them there in the middle. So we're just going to add another little butterfly there. have another leaf I can tuck in here. I can't wait to get everything adhered because y'all know it drives me crazy for everything to move. I can't stand it. And I also pulled out these, and I don't know if I'm going to use them or not. I'm thinking no. So these elements that I had also pulled out are not going to be used this time. This is pretty much the layout. I'm going to adhere everything. It's going to be done. This is the end of layout 2 and 3 for January Collection Obsession. Come back. We will chat again soon. Bye-bye.